Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm starting with my base done because I actually want to do a recreation of an eyeshadow look, and I'm kind of starting a new series of videos revisiting older eyeshadow palettes. And I actually wanted to start this series using the Soph X Revolution palette, and this was the first Soph collaboration with Revolution, because this was actually the first eyeshadow palette I bought when I started my channel. So I am going to recreate my first look, and I didn't actually have a very good picture from that look. Basically, it doesn't show up a lot of colors, and this is what the palette looks like. So I did make some questionable choices in terms of colors, but I am actually going to use the same colors. But basically, with this series of videos, I just want to take older eyeshadow palettes and use them more. So if you are new to this channel, subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram. But without any further ado, I'm going to prime my eyes with the Kiko Neutral Eye base. And I don't think I actually used eyeshadow primer for that first look, but I've realized that is very important. And with this recreation, I kind of want to give another spin to that first eyeshadow tutorial, because let's face it, when I started my channel, I didn't have the best idea of what I was doing, but now I have a lot more practice with makeup. So one thing I did is, almost at the end of the tutorial, I used the matte white to highlight my brow bone. I think I'm actually going to start with that. So I'm using the shade Penguin, and I'm taking kind of a fluffy brush. This is the Jessup Luxe All Over Shader to pop that matte white on my brow bone. Usually I prefer to use a shimmer on the brow bone, but I'm just taking this one to follow my own tutorial. This makes it a very subtle brow bone highlighter, but it's also valid. And I just have a little paper with my notes with the shades I used. So I took the shade Iced Coffee to create a transition, that is this one. So I'm taking that shade in the Jessup Luxe Soft Crease, and I'm creating a transition with that shade. One of the things I noticed from that first video, it's actually not my first video, but it was one of the first. I will leave it up on the cards. I would advise you not to watch it, but if you want to, go ahead. I noticed that I didn't actually take the eyeshadow very high up, not showing too much because I have hooded eyes. Now I know that I do need to take the eyeshadow up and really just use most of the space that I have until the eyebrow. Then for my crease color, I took the shade Peaches, and I definitely need to wash my brushes because I have some new eyeshadow palettes coming, and I'm taking the shade Peaches on the Luxe Crease brush. So I'm using this one to kind of intensify the crease, and this is definitely a very pretty peach color. One of the things that really didn't help for that first tutorial too is that I didn't actually have really nice brushes. So now I really love the Jessup brushes. The eye set is absolutely amazing, and I actually need to get some more, but the Jessup eye brushes are really good. So that's another thing that really helps to take more of an eyeshadow palette. Okay, so as you can see, these two shadows have a really nice build of color, which I didn't achieve on that first video. And then I took the shade Danger, that is this kind of deep red or burgundy color. And I'm taking this shade on the Luxe Petite Crease, and I'm using this one to intensify even more my crease. So I'm taking this one from the outer corner and a little bit to the crease, but not going very much on the inner corner. I'm just taking the Luxe crease with whatever is left to just blend this one a little bit more. Then on the outer corner, I also took the shade Rosewood, that is this more cool toned brown. And I think I used this mostly on the outer corner, but I'm also going to be using it a little bit on my lash line. And I'm just taking again the Luxe Petite Crease. So I'm giving a little bit more depth to the outer corner. But I also want to darken the lash line a little bit, because I'm not doing eyeliner. And I just want to do my lower lash line now, so I used the shade Peaches close to the lash line and blended with iced coffee. So for the shade Peaches, I used the Jessup Smudger brush, and now to blend it with iced coffee, I'm using a brush from H&M. This is the crease blending brush, but it does have a kind of small, a little bit pointy end. Okay, next I'm going to use two different shimmers on my lid, one darker and one lighter. So I really didn't know how to do a cut crease or a half cut crease then, but I think for this time I am going to do that. So I'm just going to take a cut crease off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is the cut crease done, and I did blend this outer part with my finger so the concealer wouldn't be too intense then. And I did mention I made some questionable decisions in terms of color, and you would think some really nice copper shade would go nicely with this look. I mean, like these two shades, but no. I used the shade Mixed Berries on the center of my lid. So yeah, I know the purple doesn't actually go with the rest of it, but maybe I'll like it. So I am packing this purple on the center of my lid and blending it a little bit outside. I think I just need a little bit more of Peaches there. Actually, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. So I'm just taking this a little bit outside, and then I'm taking a little bit more of that cool toned brown to just blend the edge of this. Okay, I think I can give me from the past a little bit more credit, because the purple doesn't actually look that bad with the other colors. And then I think I took the shade Pink Champagne on the inner part of the lid and also on the inner corner. So I'm just blending these two together. And I'm taking a little bit more on this part of the inner corner. Okay, so that is it for eyeshadow. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Kiko Everlasting Kajal on my waterline, and I'm also going to do some mascara, and I'll be right back to finish my makeup. Okay, so the eyes are done, and just to finish my makeup, I am using the Revolution Reloaded bronzer in Take a Vacation, and also the Revolution Reloaded blush in Ballerina. And to go with the eyeshadow palette, I'm also using the Soph highlighter palette. And with this look, I think I'm going to take this shade. And to keep with the theme for my lips, I'm also going to use the Soph X Revolution lipstick, and I have mine in the shade Cake. And I'm just setting my makeup with the Primark Fix and Perfect. Okay, so let me give you a close-up of the eye look. And might have like 1 or 2 smudges of mascara, but that's not very important. I think the colors actually look better together than what I thought it would. And the pigmentation now is a lot better than it was then, because I've had a lot more practice. I have better brushes, and I got a much better eyeshadow look now than I did then. So practice and brushes actually matter, and I am quite happy with this look. And yeah, overall I was very curious to know how would end up the recreation of my first video using an eyeshadow palette, and I think it did very well. So the Soph X Revolution, the first palette, I don't actually have the other palette, but this is one of my favorites. It's a really good everyday eyeshadow palette. So yeah, I think this will be kind of an interesting series to use some older eyeshadow palettes, creating completely new looks with it, or maybe recreating some older looks. If you like this kind of video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the color combination. And if you'd like to see more videos like this and maybe the next video on this series, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Monday and Thursday. And that is everything for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!